I'm rolling down the hall with my Bible scriptures. This word help protect me from the vultures. I can't let the seed fall on hard mud. I'm breaking in new lanes and I'm making a thud. Blessings on Noah, getting ready to flood. Revelations got me shook as I read the holy book. Jeremiah clue me in, destination already booked. Plant me by the water, about to go deep with my roots.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Miss Nina, aka Nina Fit.
And you already know who it is, your brother who? Brother O.
And we want to say welcome back to Gospel
Not Gossip. Feed me though.
Yeah. So today we have a special, this is a special episode. We are now shooting our April Armor series. So welcome to spring and welcome to April. And I want to introduce our guests. Hello.
What's going on?
Let us know who you are.
What's going on?
Who this is?
I'm Coach Marcus Washington.
Okay.
I'm the leader of Motivate You.
Wow. Welcome. We want to say welcome to Marcus.
Welcome, for real
and, this is a special episode for April Armor, and because we have brother Marcus Washington, I'm going to call him MW, because he wrote this amazing book. And we're here to interview him about this book. I think it's vital for this episode to kick off April Armor. So tell us, what's the name of your book?
Success is My Only Option, the official handbook for the modern student.
Official tissue, know what I'm saying?
Official, you feel me though?
So first of all, today, if you know about the April Armor, it's the armor of God, but we're calling it April Armor. And usually we tell it, you start from a different aspect, but we're going to teach April Armor in reverse, only because this book, I wanted to kick off this series with this book for a reason, because I believe it was perfect, and it's great for our teens. This is what we do it for our teens, right?
For the teens.
First of all, can we get a zoom in on the cover? Hold that book up. Let's look at just the cover art of this book.
Okay.
It's what drew me at first. I mean, this does look like, who's that team with the yellow and black? That football team?
Oh, that's Fort Bend Marshall right there.
Oh, excuse me. I don't know. I don't be knowing. I ain't from here. Hey, they breaking me in Texas, so no lie.
Okay.
So the cover really is amazing, and I wanted to talk about the helmet of salvation today, and I believe that this book plays a part of that. So if you don't know, the helmet of salvation, Paul talks about that in Ephesians 6:17, chapter 6, verse 17, and he talks about the helmet and the sword, the spirit, the sword, which is the word of God, the spirit, right? But this book right here, because it's for the official handbook for the modern student, and so I wanted to interview Brother Marcus on that on today. And so, I mean, we're going to jump right in. Anything you want to say before we jump into these questions? Because
questions.
I got questions for you.
I'm excited. Thank y'all for having me on. I'm excited to dive into this book. Like I said, I always say you can come as you are, but I promise you, you're going to leave better than you came.
Amen. Come on. He belongs to the pulpit already. You know the book. And belong to the pulpit. What's going on here?
Okay, I feel it.
Okay. So I want to start in the beginning because if we open up this book, right, the first page says, who are you? Like, that is a bold question. He came out the gate. He just opened it after, he gave all his recognitions and everything. Boom. It was like, who are you? What made you start no, we're not going to ask that. So who are you? So before we get into that, I want to just when I put who are you, and what that brought to me was remembering whose you are. To remember who you are, to identify who you are, a child of God, you belong to God, speaking to your identity. I believe who are you was Brother Marcus just provoking your identity to figure out who you are before going on the battlefield. And so let's start there. So because under who are you, you have success complex, personal strengths. What is that about?
Absolutely. That is so critical and very intentional that I put it at the beginning of the book. I feel like that's the first critical question you must be able to answer. Who are you?
Who are you?
It seems
Absolutely.
so simple, but it's a lot of people that struggle with that question. And
yes.
So I just feel like, this self-discovery exercise and understanding and embracing who you are is so critical as you move through day-to-day life.
Right.
Can I ask you a question? How did you find out who you were?
It was a process.
It was a process.
Absolutely, it was a process, right? It's some self-assessing going on and looking myself in the mirror and saying, what are my strengths?
Right, that's
Good question.
amazing.
Hey, okay.
Because under that, you also have personal weaknesses. So learning to identify not only your strengths, but your weaknesses was part of your identity, right? So my first question, intentional question for you is, what did you witness in your students and athletes that triggered you to know you have to train them in their mind on and off the field? Because you're not only a coach, you're a teacher.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I first got into teaching, I would just hear, this generation is different. Right, they're different. Like,
okay, come on.
Everybody would kind of give me that little warning. That
right.
Different.
Yeah.
So, when I got into the classroom and I started teaching, I agree. Yes, this generation is a little different.
Right.
But they're very capable.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
And so what I found on the football field, once we started winning games, I'm like, it's possible for them to excel. They just gotta focus.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Amen. So, so that triggered you that they have to focus, and we're gonna get to that too because you have a chapter in the book called Focus, right? Okay. So, my next question is: would you say that this book is a form of a helmet? Because we know that that this helmet of salvation is for the mind. It's to protect the mind. It's to know how your mind is. So they talk about when you go into battle, and Paul referred it to the Roman, army, of how the helmet that they put on, because we know if you take a blow to the head while you at war, the rest of that armor don't matter. Okay. You out of there, right? Yeah. So would you say that this book is like a form, metaphorically, like a helmet?
Absolutely. This is information right here. Information, right? Information changes situations.
Ooh, come on, tagline, information changed the situation.
So by putting this information in this book, and that's how we change our habits and changing our actions through information.
Right.
So putting this information in this book, putting it in the student hands, I feel like it was vital.
Amen. What you guys say to that, brother?
Man, that was tough. I'm still stuck on that information is what?
Change the tagline, change the situation.
I might steal that.
Okay, so it says the helmet of salvation is protection of the head, a.k.a. the mind. From who? From yourself first, the enemy, Satan, unbelievers, and then and also doubters. There's those who's going to doubt you, and then it's yourself who you doubt yourself. Do you not doubt yourself? And also the flesh. Sometimes we it's sort of take us back to cancel culture when you kind of sabotage yourself. That can happen, right? Because you feel inadequate or you feel like you're not worthy. So okay, so I want to move on to, because, so for the helmet of salvation, let me just read real quick Ephesians. Y'all know I got it. I got a quick
That's a word for you today, so focus. Okay, that's part of focus.
Yup, too much. So I'm just going to read real quick what it has here, the scripture. And of course, we're going to flash it across the screen. So the armor of God in Ephesians 6:10 through 20, but we're going to just break it down. It says, finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So what we're battling is not even just our flesh. It's not just even ourselves. So that battle in your mind, that is a battlefield, right? So principalities is a state ruled by a prince, who we know is the prince of the air, a.k.a. Satan, right? Okay. Darkness, the partial or total absence of light. When we don't have knowledge, because knowledge is light, and that's what you said, if we can get this knowledge in their hands, we can open up some things, right? It'll start to illuminate.
Through the information.
Right. So those were the keywords that I have.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to, I think I have knowing your special gifts, right?
That's tough.
Gifts, tasks, or actions you do extremely well, but takes minimal effort. Tell me about that. Knowing the special gifts or the special sauce that makes you, that helps you in battle.
Absolutely. It's so critical. God gave every single person a gift. Everybody has a gift.
Absolutely. I believe in it.
something you do extremely well that takes you very minimal effort. And sometimes we don't even realize that we have a gift because it comes so easy to us.
Right.
And so to somebody else, they're like, man, they're amazing at it. And you like, just what I do.
Right.
That's your God-given gift. So I feel like it's important for, young people to identify that and embrace it and use that to put yourself in a position to be successful.
And I'm speaking upon coaching because I myself used to coach Little League. Okay. One thing that in coaching, if you can agree, coaching also is the same like as managing. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your team. So being that you're in the coaching stage, your job is to look and identify. And I think sometimes people don't understand how hard coaching is because your job is to identify that player's strength or their potential and put them in the places that they need to go because, hey, you can agree. Some parents come in there, I want my child to be running back and I want my...
Don't do them.
Nah.
Excuse me, ma'am, you're my business.
Trust me. Hey, I'm telling you, on recruiting day, that's the worst day for me. On recruiting day because they come in, what you want? I got like 10 running backs and you get out there, nah, we gonna put you, no, you good, ain't okay, let me just see what y'all... And I understand that. So to me... I'm saying that to ask this question. In writing this book, this is your coaching play. In writing this book, what was your outcome to get in writing this book? What was that?
Wait, hold on, brother. Are you jumping the questions? That's coming up. Hold on. That's a question.
All right, my bad.
If we can go to page 4, it is. No, that's a great question. So I know you're on it. You're on it. I want to go to page 4. I want to hop over to the success phrase. The success phrase.
Page 4.
And it says, basically, what are you saying to yourself? I want to just read a bit. It says, your power phrase is your personal mantra. There will be times as a student athlete where you feel defeated and the load seems too heavy to bear. Your mantra is what you will repeat to yourself that will inspire you to persevere once more. Stay away from phrases that sound cool. You need to connect to your power phrase. It needs to be in your soul, right? So the mantra, to help you when things seem hard or heavy, helps you to tap into power. Psalms 23:4, that brought to my mind where it says 23:4 is having power in God. And it says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I should fear no evil, for you are with me. So that's power. We tap into the power of God, right?
Absolutely.
But right here, for you have power phrases, and you said one is like the grind don't stop. Step into your greatness. You also said to not let it make it sound cool. Like stay away from cool sounding mantras. Like what is something like that you would say?
The more generic ones, go hard, I got to go hard. It sounds cool, but are you really connected to it? Like, does that really resonate with you?
Right.
And so, it's important to identify that what really gets you going. What can you say to yourself, right? You got to be your own biggest cheerleader. When there's nobody else around, you got to get yourself going.
Absolutely.
So, one of the things that we say and motivate you, we say every single day, it's a work day. It's a work day, right? So even me, myself, to this day, I get up, maybe dragging a little bit. Hey, it's a work day. I got to go to work.
Right,
you gotta have that phrase that you tell yourself to get yourself going.
Right. So what I saw on the next page was some success words. It says, list 3 powerful and positive words of affirmation that you want to be. And you have some I ams. I am a leader. I am ambitious. I am a winner. I believe that reminded me success words, affirmations is when even God told Moses to go back to Egypt. So Pharaoh, bro, you gotta let them people go.
Yeah.
And Moses, scary bud at the time, was like, first of all, God, I don't know, who am I supposed to send me? And God said, tell him I am sent you. And I believe starting off those, those power phrases, those success words with I am is powerful. The fact that you put that in the book automatically starts speaking to the mind, right? So, And that's when you're frightened and worried. So you got to constantly kind of remind yourself of those affirmations. You have to affirm, like you said, you have to affirm yourself when no one's cheering for you, right?
Right.
For if we don't wrestle against flesh and blood and against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness, that means in your mind, there's seeds of doubt that's coming in. You might hear other people, and again, you might self-sabotage because you feel inadequate, right? So I want to hop over to your first, I guess, so would you say that was like a warm-up? Because the only option chapter is where most of my questions is coming from, because I got into that chapter. If you skip over to there real quick.
Yeah.
It says the only option, that's when you start the ready, set, go. And it says change your mindset. That is, very important. Helmet of salvation is in place at that time. You changing your mindset, right? So it says the words you think and say to yourself can be vitamins or toxins. You decide. Can you elaborate on that line? What made you put that in there?
Absolutely. Because who do you talk to the most throughout the day?
Me, yourself.
Absolutely. It's just natural. It's natural.
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
Those words you say to yourself are extremely important, right? Just
yes.
Encouraging yourself, pushing yourself, like I said, feeding, canceling out that doubt. It's important. You gotta talk to yourself.
Right.
Right.
I actually went through that earlier this week.
Wow.
I did something for the first time as a teacher. When I led a training session, and so now it's one thing to teach kids.
Right.
It's another thing to teach your peers.
Yes.
Right.
So now I'm preparing for this, and I'm like, okay, am I gonna get it right? And so I went to my success rate, bro. Step into your greatness, man. This is what you do. Like,
yes.
And then as soon as I started, it all went away, and I went. So even to this day.
Yes, you started affirming yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's that pep talk you gotta have before game day.
Hello.
Yeah.
So hello. And then okay, so it says, okay, so hold on. Let me flip back over. Okay, so then it says the focus every day was on being the victor, not the victim. So that's on page 10, and I just want to read a bit of that. It says the focus every day was on being the victor, not the victim. A math game in class, kickball at recess, or laps around the field during physical education class. It did not matter. I just wanted the sweet taste of victory. So my question to you, because I think that's amazing. First of all, we can't claim to be the victim. You have to claim your victory, right?
Yes, absolutely. I agree on that.
So my thing is, now when you said that you were focused on being the victor and not the victim, how did you know it wasn't pride, but was more about conditioning for a strong mind to succeed?
I just wanted to win. I just love to win.
Right.
It didn't matter what it was. I just loved to be able to say I was the best, and I didn't win all the time.
Right.
But by giving forth my best effort and wanting to win, I could live with that. Right. So it was just a sense of pride and just wanting to be the absolute best.
Wow, that's amazing.
That kind of what my grandma used to always say. I don't care if you're the broom sweeper, be the best broom sweeper you're gonna be.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel that.
Okay.
I feel that.
So it says, then over time, you also, I'm quoting you. These are quotes from the book. It says, over time, I developed an attitude of wanting to make my parents proud and a mindset. The sky is the limit. Did you consider, okay, so let me read something first. Another paragraph, it says, as well as I did in school, I dare not to take all the credit. My parents did a phenomenal job of providing me with everything I needed to be successful. Then you go on to talk about, practicing your spelling bee with your dad, right? And then you said when you got it wrong, and he sets the whole atmosphere, guys. First of all,
right.
Luther Vandross is playing in the background. I don't know if y'all know about Luther. That was Big Luther or Skinny Luther? Big Luther. Okay, Big Luther was singing. Okay, y'all ain't know about that. And he got some shake and bake in the background. Luther greatest hits. And he said while he was practicing, if he missed any words, he would have to write them 5 times each and take the whole test all over again. Now, like any kid, he wanted to go, play outside, do other things that kids do. But so my question to you is, did you consider this your training ground to help you know when to have your helmet in place? Like that phase of your life of knowing that, okay, if I'm practicing this and I get it wrong, you have your dad's like, hey, well, you're gonna have to write them 5 times and you're gonna do it again. Was that like training ground of knowing, put my helmet in place? I'm not gonna, just because you missed a couple words, we're not gonna fail. We're gonna go back in. We're gonna do it again.
Absolutely, right. It spoke to what I call success management. Right? Success management. It's 2 parts to success management, right? Preparation. And so that's what he was teaching me right there. Your test is tomorrow.
Right.
You got to prepare today.
Right.
And it's not just, we're not just going through the motions and say, okay, we did it. You missed 2. Hopefully you get it tomorrow. Like, no. We're going to
make sure you know.
Right. It was, I had to do it over and over and over and over again. So that's what you do in preparation. You do it over and over and over and over again.
Right.
So now when I perform, same thing I was doing.
Amen. Right.
Yeah.
So, Brother O, does that sound like sometimes when we take tests from God and we keep failing and he give it, you wonder, why am I back at the same test? He was like, because you didn't pass it.
You didn't pass it.
And we're not going to just let you be good enough. No, you're going to get it right. Absolutely. You have the time. This is preparation season. Do you feel like we are in preparation season sometimes?
I think everybody goes through that, and like you said in the book, man, to me, it's good to hear from somebody else knowing that. Because then when you can have somebody to relate to, and kids these days, it doesn't matter the age. You know what I'm saying? You have to start teaching as young as possible if need be. You feel me? And that's a good thing to have. And I'm just, to me, it's just glad to know another brother that has that mind frame that's out here that's willing to give the youth the same information we went through.
Amen.
You know
and see,
so
and that's why he said it's
it.
the official student handbook. Yeah. What I love about this book, and as I was reading it, because y'all know I had to, read the book myself. I had to give me a couple of copies. It's so practical. He made it for, it says clearly, student athletes. Every place in life, you're a student. Now, some of us might be athletes, some of us might not be athletes, but I still feel like, we're athletes in our everyday life, trying to overcome obstacles. I think when I think overcome obstacles, I think of jumping hurdles. I think of getting over things like that. So when he said, over time, I developed an attitude of wanting to make my parents proud and a mindset that the sky is the limit. Don't we want to make God proud in our life? So you attacked what was the test at the time, and with the mindset that the sky is the limit. I don't have to stop here. I could keep going. That goes back to that. You just wanted the sweet taste of victory.
Absolutely.
Right? You want to be victorious. Isn't there a gospel song about that? I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay.
Come up with one.
So, my other question is, how important was it for you to make this book practical? Being that we just said it's practical, brother. Oh, you see how that just...
Yeah,
How important was it for you to make this book practical?
That stemmed from my time in teaching. Again, I saw that, I'm a U.S. history teacher. So when I found that, my kids were able to excel is because, I simplified everything for them. That's my job, to take this knowledge and put it in a form where you can understand it.
Absolutely.
And apply it. Like I said, make it practical. So I said, if I can teach kids U.S. history, I know I can teach them how to be successful. So I took that same format and said, if you make it practical, simple enough, and now they're flying through it and they're able to apply the things that are in this book.
Yeah,
that's almost kind of like what Jesus did with a parable. Broke it down in the story format so you can understand the story.
Hey, you gotta know who you're talking to.
Hey,
go back to our series on good ground. What ground are we planting our seeds?
It sounds like, I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like you, and this is to go back when you said who you are, when you had found out, because everybody got their own gifts and talent. And the gifts and talents that we spoke on other previous episode, we look and say, okay, this is, first let me find out what I'm about first. And you done that. So when you done that, we say that's your talent, but spiritually, that's your ministry.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're doing something, when you go through something and you go through the things and you say, hey, now let me give back to somebody that I know that's going to go through something else. That's what our job is, to go out and amongst our people and let them know.
So this is like him blasting his success gospel.
Hey, that's
right here.
It's like
the playbook. You got the playbook. Listen.
You the coach. Hey, man, I dig it. How it all come together, coach. The playbook. Us, the players.
Right,
hey,
right.
What? What? You did that, what?
It came from me just identifying my gift.
Right.
Right. Identifying
It's
my
important.
gift. My natural gift is to help people.
Oh wow.
I've been like that since I was
What
young.
do you do so effortlessly? That goes back to your gift that you do that comes effortlessly.
I'm gonna tell you like my wife would tell me, you must be a Libra.
What? Wait a minute, Lord. I'm not.
Shout out to the Libra dude. No, I'm just playing.
He's so active. Yo, y'all is funny. Okay.
That's how my grandma, back in the day. What's your birthday?
Oh.
You sound like my nephew. What's your birthday?
Okay, so my other question to you was, how important would you rate the need to strengthen and cultivate the battlefield that is the mind early in life?
Absolutely. I love how you use the word cultivate.
Mm-hmm.
And so it must be established early on, and that's what my parents were able to do for me. I was able to see success from a very young age.
Right.
It planted that seed,
Mm-hmm.
and now over time it just continues to grow.
Right.
So you the good ground.
Here you go, good girl. Because we was talking about planting seeds. He was good girl. Okay.
We were talking about planting seeds.
That was Mark Madness.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all go back and rewatch that. It's on YouTube.
Absolutely. Watch that.
Replay or whatever.
Yeah.
So, because I believe in your household, and in this book, let me tell y'all, I got so much from just the first 2 chapters of this book. You talked about your identifying in the winning teams of your parents' favorite winning teams. So that set the tone of competitiveness and how to be victorious. He dropped teams like the Chicago Bulls, y'all. He dropped teams like the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s when they was winning. They was on the winning streak. Okay, y'all don't know them now. Y'all knew Gen Z, X, Y, F, W. Y'all ain't know about all that. But those are 2 teams that you can clearly identify for sure. So my next question to you is, how can parents, teachers, coaches, and mentor help to ensure this early on to cultivate the mind to get it going?
So I think that speaks to being intentional, right? And being intentional with the student and saying, what are you good at?
Right.
Right, and it's important for the student to find success early in whatever they're doing.
Right.
So as a parent, teacher, mentor, coach, I have to find it. I can't, put it on them to go and find it. I have to put them in the position.
Man, coach.
Whatever it is, whether it's spelling, it may be athletics, it may be dancing, whatever it is, I got to find so they can see success.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I love that because before I get to why I asked that question, which is in the back of the book, I want to just ask you about this pre-workout. How Marcus has this book set up. It's literally for the student athlete. It literally speaks to an athlete. It literally speaks to you clearly as a student. It's so guided. You can't miss it. It can't go above your head if you wanted it to, okay? So let's talk about just the pre-workout ingredients here. It says how to make success the only option. And I believe you have a pre-workout at the end of every chapter, right, for that. Okay, and it says there's never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do what is important. Where your treasure is where your heart is. That's the scripture that comes to mind for me. Begin the habit of organizing your life by using a planner or a cell phone calendar to track important dates and events, and a journal or note-taking app to keep track of important tasks instead of trying to remember them. Remain optimistic because improvement can be made. We just need to focus, this is still guiding us into chapter 2, which is called focus. Tell me about that. Tell me about how you use those tools, those ingredients, and how it helped, and how you teach your students that, how it helps them. Do you see improvement in them in their journey?
It's one of those things where it sounds so simple,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not done. But I grew into those things as an adult as well. I'm not gonna sit back like I always.
Right.
Now looking back again, my time as a teacher, saying just organize everything.
Amen.
The test coming up, identify. Don't try to remember everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Be strategic.
Yeah.
Success is strategic and
Ooh.
intentional.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I
They
love
can't be
that.
like just wake up like this, huh?
I woke up like this. Come on, Beyonce stands. Beyonce said she woke up like that, but she failed a couple times on Star Search. What was it, Star Search, man? She had to take a couple L's first. She had to get it right. I'm just saying. But if you guys can see in this book, I just want to point. This book is, when I say it's phenomenal, it's so well written, it's so well organized. He even has quotes at the end of each chapter before going on. And right now he has right here, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both usually right. How you say this man named Confucius. I did not curse, y'all.
She could.
Okay, Confucius. And what scripture that brought me to mind is Proverbs 23:7. As someone think within himself, so he is. Also Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And those who love it will eat its fruit. Yep. I believe that's what it was speaking to, right? So we're going to go over to the focus chapter. In every chapter, he has a ready, set, go. So he sets you up for what you're about to do. Okay. And this focus chapter is very important. Let me get my notes. Yeah, guys, I got stickies because, you know, I was reading or whatever. So I want to talk about, for page 16, I just want to read this paragraph. It says success is specific and intentional, as you said, strategic. Once you identify your target, it is critical that all your actions create a pathway that will lead you into your target. It is going to take passion and obsessiveness in your target becoming part of who you are. Wow. You must understand that all things are a process. Hitting your target is a journey, and it will require patience. And I think you put that play on that word on purpose, patience, right? To rush this process means you lack faith in God and in yourself. Sometimes who you are becoming on the way is more important than hitting the actual target. Sir, you are not going to just come and snatch my little bald edges like that in that paragraph or whatever. First of all, that paragraph alone is loaded. Like, speak to me about sometimes who you are becoming on the way is more important than hitting the actual target. Because to some people, that doesn't sound great. That doesn't sound good. It's not a feel-good statement, but tell us about that.
It's so important. Again, this is something I learned as an adult, right? Setting these targets, and this is why it's so important, to set those targets. I don't say goals, I say targets, right? You got to
right.
Precision.
Yes. Right.
When you say target. And so set it as high as possible. Set it as high as you can. Don't be afraid of what somebody is going to think when they hear it. Set it all the way up there.
Right.
Because when you set that target all the way up there, it's going to take some work to get there. Right. You're going to have to learn so many new things.
Right.
So many new habits.
Right.
And so even if I don't hit that target, I had to learn so many new things. I went through so many different experiences. Now you've transformed as a person.
Ooh, transform.
To the target.
Yes, come on, Brother Marcus.
You have to be optimistic. I think that's one thing, too, comes hand in hand with that patience, is being optimistic, because sometimes when you aiming for that target, you can't hit that target every time, all the time. You know, when you first start off with that target, you might hit the ceiling or something, you know what I'm saying? But as long as you continue aiming, and that's the thing that I think some youngsters don't have in their mind frame, because society makes it seem like it's just here today. You know,
microwave success.
You know what I'm saying? But as long as you taking that step forward to at least aim for it, you know, you're gonna get it. And then once you get it, you rhythm. So to me, I clearly like that by itself, because to me it says just that. Aim for that target, man.
And I believe that was the end of a mix of your pre-workout for the end of chapter 1. It says remain optimistic because improvement can be made. That was in the pre-workout, and you said something. So let me read set under the focus. When you said we don't set goals, we aim for targets. It says today we adjust our vocabulary per. Okay. We no longer set goals. We specifically identify, strategically aim, take intentional action, and hit our targets. We ain't setting goals no more. We ain't no goal setters out here or whatever. I'm joking.
We target hitters. We hit targets around here.
No, don't get me hyped. I love wordplay. I turn it to I call it the love. Okay? I'm just saying, this is me. Okay, so I want to go to page 19 real quick. Let's flip it there. And this is another pre-workout. I love the pre-workouts. Guys, y'all know if you an athlete or you be training in the gym, you know like what the pre-workout do. The pre-workout get you hyped to get in there and get that thing going. That thing be thanging, okay? So it says how to increase your focus. You can increase your focus by identifying who or what is it that you wish to become. The definition of focus is a center of activity, attraction, or attention. You must put something positive at the center of your life to bring your attention. Once that positivity has become the epic center of your life, you will begin to narrow your vision, but aware of distractions. Narrow your visions, but aware of distractions that are attempting to regain your attention and cause you to be unproductive. Because of your commitment to being focused, you will see that every is a work day. Every day is a work day, right? So let's talk about these distractions. Alert of distractions to know when to have the helmet on. What could be some distractions that you are up against when you're trying to be successful as an athlete and as a student and as a teacher and as a coach? I gotta throw it on it.
Anything could be a distraction.
Okay.
When I tell you, family, TV, social media, your cell phone, anything that is taking your attention away from your target can be considered a distraction.
Yes.
And
Yes,
so
yes.
I
True words of wisdom.
Man, when these students are focused, when you remove some of those distractions,
Yeah.
that's when they start to see the growth. And so that's what I ask them, success, it's all about taking you from where you are to wherever it is that you want to go.
Right,
That's what I
correct.
believe in
This
that.
is correct.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be the top clown at the surface. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Absolutely.
So now, guess what? That's the target. That's what they're focused
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
It's what they want to do. It
Yes.
becomes intrinsic, not forcing them to do anything.
Woo, yes,
Mm.
yes,
It's a
yes,
journey.
yes.
So along the way, they might start off saying, "I want to be the top clown at the circus," and you know what? My gift, they identified the gift. My gift is actually taking me to going into business. I actually
Right.
want to be an entrepreneur now.
Mm-hmm.
But we started moving them already.
Right.
And so it's focused on what they want to do.
Right, so you might no longer want to be the top clown, but you might, I'm about to own this circus.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
it's even better than being the clown.
Right.
That is amazing. I love that because also I just want to circle back real quick when you said on page 16, sometimes who you are becoming is way more important than hitting the actual target. To rush this process means you lack faith in God and in yourself. So I got to put some scriptures to that, right? So Hebrews 12, 1-2 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders us and the sin that so easily entangles us." What is a sin? We think sin is just like the normal things that we hear everybody, the religious folks say, yes, those are sins too. But comparison and worry is a sin. Do we know that? That can hinder us when you start getting on social media. You comparing your journey to this person's journey. But again, that goes back to everybody thinking what you said, brother. Oh, it happens instantly.
Right.
You think it's microwave success, and that's not
Right.
it, right? And it
Right.
says, "And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." What is the race marked out for you? Are you lacking faith in God and
Are
yourself?
you?
If he gave it to you, will he not bring you through it? Galatians 5:7 said also, "You were running a good race. Who cut in on you to keep you from obeying the truth? Friends, doubt, peers, TV." Come on,
You
the
said
list can go
family.
on. You get what I'm
Family.
saying?
Mom used to always say family's
Child,
the worst one. What she
Hello,
said me.
you got to be careful.
That's why we have a thing called family reunion, seen once a year.
Child, you know what? I'm not. Cousin!
Hey,
cousin!
okay, yeah. I'm telling you, you feel me?
Y'all gotta stop. Okay, so now, so those are all my questions for you, but I want to get into the back of the book real quick. And I think you and Brother O was talking about this, the differentiated learning. It's a place in the book that talks about weaknesses and strengths. Can you tell us about that diversity of learning on and off the field? Because remember, Brother O, for March, I think I kind of put that in our outline. I'm starting to do that. And it says here, and it's this interpersonal learning, musical, logistic, logical, naturalistic. It's so many bodily. I can't say that. Come on, guys. You know what I mean. Go ahead, Brother Marcus. I'll let you take over.
No, you're exactly right. And again, this is it's stemming from my time as a master teacher. Now, just understanding the learning process, understanding the education process that everybody learns different.
Different. I agree.
It is okay.
Mhm.
It's okay. right? So you have some students that they're auditory, right? You can tell them something,
Mhm.
take in the information, right? Another student, visual, right? They have to be able to see it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
A lot of kids are kinesthetic, right? Once you get them moving around, that's when they get it. So it's all about, and that's why I say master your learning. As a student, you have to understand, how do I learn best?
Yes.
Right? The teacher should be able to do it, but you got to be able to know too. You know what? I'm visual. Hey, can you say that? Can you say, like, you got to be able to put yourself in a position to be successful.
Wow.
Learning is different for everyone.
I used to say the same thing because me as a parent looking at my kids, I see, okay, well, hold on. I see the teacher teach this one way, but when you come home and we teach it a different way, and this is like when my daughter was little, from that pre-K kindergarten area, you can see, and the teacher was like, well, she don't know this, they came home, well, she don't know this, she don't know this, how she don't, baby, what is this, oh, this is this, and the teacher looking at us like, well, she didn't. It might be the way you all present it to her. So you quick to put my kids in this area here because of how you seeing. But really, that's the thing. If you are a teacher, I can't say necessarily your job, but to make you a powerful teacher, it's almost in transition with it being a coach.
Being aware
of who and what their strengths are. Let alone us trying to find ours, man. That's powerful.
Absolutely. I mean, it's changed over time, right?
Yeah.
The old school teacher model was teacher up here at the front, everybody right there,
Yeah.
talking.
Absolutely.
That hit the auditory learners, but it went over the head of the visual.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So teachers are starting to understand, hey, I got to play a video. I got to moving. They can read it. I can talk to them about it. So it's different learning modules.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that says almost the same thing what's going on now, because a lot of kids that was here are now dropping down because now they have to get to the virtual, and they used to being hands-on, so I see even the declining of that. Not necessarily saying, oh, yeah, these kids are like this, but no, that ain't. It's crazy, man. And I like the way even though you're coming in a coaching mind frame, this basic principle is able to be applied in every. That's amazing. You did that. What?
Oh my God! So when I read that, how it spoke to me also was that's how God teaches us. God has a personal relationship with us. How God has a relationship with me is not the same way He has a relationship with Brother O. It might not be how He have a relationship with Brother Marcus. Because how God talked to me sometimes is with a lot of sarcasm and like, you know what? Chill, shorty, you wildin'. He talks to me in a way, He teaches me in a way that He know He can get through to me.
Absolutely.
As God being our teacher and our mentor. So, okay, we still flipping through. All my green places is where I have it. So I want to talk about emotional wellness. There's a part in now, if we go to the back of the book, he has some really, again, it's a game changer because he has a guide for you to help you check on yourself, to help you succeed. You cannot have this book and not be on the road to success.
Gotta get it.
He talks about, emotional wellness in here, intellectual wellness, physical wellness. What made you put that in this book? Like spiritual wellness is right here. One of the first ones. Okay. So I'm just telling you, thank you for blessing us, Brother Marcus. I'm just saying, what made you feel like you had to break this down, the self-assessments in these areas?
This is so what motivate you is 3 critical questions we feel like all young people need to be able to answer. Right? The first one we answered at the beginning was the who are you?
Yeah.
Right.
And so now once you get to the 7 areas of wellness that we focus on, are you reaching your full potential?
Right.
That hits home. Not are you doing well, not are you good right now, but are you being the absolute best person that you can be?
Right.
And so we feel like in order to do that, you have to focus on holistic wellness, right? Because
Right.
when you ask somebody, are they healthy, are they well,
Right.
what's the first thing they're going to think of?
Their body.
Yeah.
Physical, right? But I work out, I look good.
Right.
But
Say
are
it.
you well?
Right.
So this self-assessment, again, we touch on the 7 areas of wellness. And it's a self-assessment. It's about you. It's not about me
Yes,
telling you
yes,
who
yes,
you are. It's
yes.
about you reflecting and seeing
Reflecting.
how I am in these 7 areas.
Amen.
Right, to reach your full potential. That's the key.
That's like man in the mirror,
There you go.
Period.
looking at yourself and saying, man, who really am I? And really what it brings is a challenge, and I think that's what a lot of youth are not used to doing or facing is challenges.
Yeah.
And once we put them in a challenge and they see that, hey, I made it through the challenge, man, then they'll build that self-confidence of, hey, man, let me see what else I can make it through.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Exactly.
What?
Y'all so
I ain't even ready yet.
It's a boys' club in here today, obviously. So aggy.
Hey, y'all be my boy Marcus, you know what I'm saying?
As I flip through, and we're almost wrapping up, you have more things. And the back of this book is very important this whole book is meat and potatoes, guys, is what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
So you have something called the game plan, and then you have a 5-year game plan, year 1 game plan, 3-month game plan. He talks to you about where you are. There's levels to this, period. And he helps you assess yourself along this place. And it says year 1 game plan. It has stuff like decide what kind of business I want to open, finish my freshman year with 3.5 GPA, become a member of the Student Government Association, attend 5 financial literacy workshop. That's something you can do in a year. He's guiding you on what you can accomplish within a year. This book is amazing. I love how the back of this book, I'm not finished. I have one more. I'm sorry. I have to get to this. And tips and reminders. He has things like accountability, consistency, adjustments. How crucial is adjustments?
I think it goes every day.
All the way at the back, but that section right there is absolutely important, right?
Right.
Just all of those, we call them our core principles. Motivate you, accountability,
Yeah.
consistency. I say consistency. Will
Yes.
change your
Come
life,
on.
It is a game changer.
Come on.
right? Making adjustments.
Yes.
It's up to you to put yourself in a position to be successful. If something's
Yes.
not working, I
Gotta address.
Man, when you said that, I think about myself back when I was out there on the football field, you know what I'm saying, running back material, you know what I'm saying, I used to be a running back, you know what I'm saying, and coach be like, man, if the hole ain't open, find one. And I'm like,
You keep going the same way, child.
I'm going, well, if the hole ain't open, go make one.
Right.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
That's what I think when I hear
Here
that.
you have sacrifice. How important is sacrifice? Sacrifice is important because that's how God showed mankind that He loves us or no.
Yes.
Okay. But sacrifice, and then execute.
That's the one. Sacrifice is the one, right? I'm big on definition because there's a lot of words that you hear. Somebody tell you sacrifice, you hear it. But once you break down the definition, that's what you really understand.
You get the meaning, the true meaning.
Yes.
So sacrifice is the act of giving up something value for the sake of something else regarded as more important. I'm gonna say that again.
You got to, boy. You sound like preaching.
Speak into the camera.
What a pedestal and what a little
Use
preacher
the camera.
thing is.
This camera right here. This right here.
What?
In order to be successful, you're gonna have to sacrifice, right? Sacrifice is the act of giving up something value for the sake of something else regarded as more important. So this is what
Break that down.
a lot of people get lost right here.
Okay.
Because the definition says you have to give up something
Yes.
first.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of people don't want to give up anything.
No. Not nothing valuable either.
Valuable.
They don't give up something that they don't
wanna
really
keep
care
all
for,
the
but
value.
valuable.
It has to be something valuable for
Amen.
the sake of something else regarded as more important. So
Yes.
that speaks to faith. I
Yes.
give it up first.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I break it down. It's just like going to the store. Right? You want to go to the store, you want to buy some candy.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't just going to pick that candy up and walk out the store. Right?
You going to jail now?
You have to give up the money first. For the candy, it works the same way. So giving up something value for the sake of something else,
Right.
is more important.
Man, you know, every time when you speak about something, I always get a mind frame. You know how you get the little bubble popped up? I wish I could have a little animated bubble popped up right here. But you know what I think about? It was a drawing that it showed a little girl that had a teddy bear.
Oh, I know what you're
The
talking
little teddy
about.
bear. A little girl had a teddy bear in her hand, and you know, as a little kid, their teddy bear is something that they hold on to because of the value. And it was God, a picture of God, that had a bigger teddy bear, but he had it behind his back.
Yes.
And he had his hand out asking for the small teddy bear.
Yes.
Give me this small teddy bear. I'm going to give you something even bigger, but you got to give this up to get this.
Come on. Come on.
Got to give you.
Oh,
Hey, this is his ministry. I'm claiming, boy. This is your ministry right here, boy.
Okay.
Hey,
So-
man, hey, this is success
it's amazing.
already.
It's success. So real,
I
Go
hate
ahead.
to cut you because the last principle is important too.
Execute.
Come on.
So this is the thing.
Come on.
Everything in the book, people can tell you this, can tell you that, can tell you that, can tell you all these principles, good things to do. But until you execute, until you take action,
Yes. Take action.
it's nothing. It's gonna be on you.
It's going to be on you. Action. And that's what from the beginning of this book, it leads you up to executing. It's putting in place a system, and I don't want to say a system because it says adjustment. You are allowed to adjust, and it leads you up with principles and values that you can help, and he's helping guide you. So real quick, guys, I want to talk about what helmets do we got today. So Brother Marcus, we're going to start with you. We got this football helmet, right? And going on to the football field. How essential is this football helmet? Because we know it says that in Ephesians, right? That even though the helmet is the last thing to put on, and like we said, but one blow to the head defeats the purpose of all the other armor. So, so how important is this helmet?
Absolutely, right. I dare you to try to go play football without one of these bad boys.
Okay.
You gonna come up short. So it's absolutely important for protection.
Yes.
Right.
To protect your mind. So that's what
This.
the
Come
book
on.
is. The book is the helmet.
Yes.
And everything protect your mind.
Yes.
It's so important.
Yes.
What you put into it.
Yes.
is
Yes.
absolutely
Yes.
Important as well.
Yes.
That means read it, y'all.
Did they used to play
Pick it
football
up
without
and read it.
ever?
They did, but helmets have definitely gotten better.
Oh, okay. So it's better helmets. The helmets have improved, which is important because concussions and things like that can happen. Taking a blow, a hit from the enemy, and you don't see it coming because your mind is weak. And when we talk about this can relate to depression. Many of you battle depression nowadays. This generation is different. Now, I'm not saying none of us battle depression, but the way you guys fall into it, that doubt, that social media, is the doubt, it's the comparison. It's more things coming for your head.
Absolutely.
And if your mind is not protected, man, you're going to be in a lot of concussions. Brother O, tell us about your helmet of salvation on today. This cameo hat. He always got many hats, guys. I thought
I'm prepared because if you notice that, and this is something that I learned, and it goes in contrast with what you said. In the army, in the military, for y'all that was in the military, my granddaddy was in it, and he said, if you ain't got this, you ain't got yourself nothing. So what that means is I just got this on to represent, but it's to say for the military, man, keep your helmet on, man. The helmet of salvation, man. That's what this is for, my helmet of protection.
Right. So me, personally, how I like to, and let's go back to the mantras and the saying I am, I like to wear my word. Because it says tie the word around your neck. So on my hat, I have blessed today. This is my helmet of salvation. You know, women, we be in the bathroom and don't act like we just go to the bathroom to use the bathroom.
Right.
We don't need to check to make sure our eyelashes ain't falling off or whatever. Girls, teens, y'all know. And so when I look in the mirror, I can see this. Yes, a baseball cap also protects you from the sun getting in your
Absolutely.
eyes. This is part of that helmet, but also it says blessed, and it helps with that, right? So, I believe like this was a good show. So you need different kind of helmets. Brother O has his hat. Brother Marcus bought this helmet, and I asked him to bring this because on the football field, one, because it's the student athlete, it just made sense. Come on, guys. And just how essential this is when you get on the football field is basically how essential I feel this book will be for the student athletes coming up. Get you one of these. Get you this book. It's on sale where?
My website, motivateyoummovement.com. Motivateyoummovement.com.
Okay.
Pick up your copy today.
Pick up 2 copies.
Go get it.
Pick up one for you,
Hey.
and so you can pass it on as a gift
Go
to somebody
get it.
else. Okay, that's how I would say. So I just want to just do a brief of what this is. So the assurance of salvation is our is our defense against anything the enemy throws at us, anything that life can throw at us. This book, what
Absolutely.
can happen to you as you're going through a student athlete? Sometimes you might get accepted to a college and then something falls through. adjust. All right. You want to get into a college. You want to get a scholarship. You want to get somewhere. You have to execute. But Brother Marcus in his book helps you lead up to that, right? It says it says, do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. I believe you mentioned something to this about the soul in there. Don't let me pull it back up. I am going to pull it back up. Y'all bugging. Y'all know. Y'all already know. They call me Auntie Nina. Auntie Nina always got to go in. Right here, it says you need to connect to your power phrase. It needs to be in your soul. You see, I found the ASAP, BSAP, not BSAP, ASAP. Sorry, guys. Y'all know I be bugging. Don't rather be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. So stay connected to God. He is your power source. He gives you the tools to help with your mind. Put on the helmet of salvation. You must put it on daily. And this is basically what this book is saying. You must change your mindset. You must make up your mind to make sure that you are equipped for the daily battles that you will face that is coming against your mind, because the battlefield is your mind. It starts in the mind. What you think, how you thinking, what you calling yourself, who you around, who's feeding you, who's in your ear. I believe you might have talked about that. Who's talking to you in your ear? What are they talking about in your ear? Sometimes you gotta let some people go. Those friends that you feel is valuable,
there's the mosquitoes.
Sorry, they gotta go. You get what I'm saying? So you can execute your plans, and you don't want stumbling blocks. And guys, sorry, that was today's show. You want to say anything else, Brother Marcus?
I appreciate y'all for having me on.
For sure. We appreciate you.
Okay, and please mention this book again.
Book,
Where to go get it? Where to go get it?
The official handbook for the modern student can be purchased at motivateyoummovement.com.
Go get it.
Go get it.
Go get it.
This was amazing. I appreciate you coming out, spending some time with us, letting us dig inside your mind of why you wrote this book. And I got a few copies, and we giving them out. So, Brother, that's your copy. You keeping that?
I got mine.
Okay.
I got mine.
Okay, so we thank you, and guys, remember to follow Gospel Not Gossip. We are on Facebook at Amplified Teen Ministry. No, we are at Facebook Amped Up. We are on Instagram at Amplified Teen Ministry. We are on Twitter at Amplified Teen Men 1. We are on TikTok at nextgen ministries.twc. And I feel like I'm missing YouTube, where you gonna be watching this video. Okay, make sure you watch this, share this video at Amped Up. And we're on Zoom every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's our small groups. We encourage you to come out, because we have a special surprise if you join our small groups. Guess who's going to be in the house? Brother Marcus is about this book. So I encourage you guys to join us. And we just want to say thank you for joining us in this conversation of Pt Armor, the helmet of salvation, on Gospel Not Gossip. See y'all next